Audiobook Academy Biography presents Joseph Conrad. Novels like Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, who was a mariner and wrote about nature and existence, are among his best-known works. Author Joseph Conrad is widely regarded as one of the greatest authors of the 20th century, writing short stories and novels such as Lord Jim, Heart of Darkness, and The Secret Agent that explore moral conflict and the evil side of human nature. Early years. Joseph Conrad was born on December 3, 1857. In Berdychev, now Berdychev, Ukraine, as Józef Theodor Konrad Korzeniowski. The Polish nobility represented by Apollo and Ewelina Korzeniowski, his parents. For conspiring against Russian oppression with their 4-year-old son as a result, they were imprisoned and transported to reside in Vologda, Russia. He was raised by an uncle in Poland after the death of his parents several years later. Conrad's schooling was sporadic at best. To begin with, he was tutored by his literary father before going to Krakow's public school and then receiving more private tutoring after that. When Conrad was just 16 years old, he left Poland and headed to Marseille, France, to begin his career as an oceanographer. Voyage years. When Conrad's uncle's buddy introduced him to a merchant who was a friend of his uncle's, Conrad sailed aboard a number of French commercial ships. He may have been involved in international gun smuggling while he was in the West Indies and South America. Conrad joined the British Merchant Marines after a time of financial difficulty and a failed suicide attempt. He served in the Navy for 16 years. For his literary works, he used the experiences he gained through his travels around the world. He visited India, Singapore, Australia and Africa, to enrich his stories. Literary profession. Conrad began to plant roots in land after his years at sea. 2 of his sons were born as a result of his marriage to Jessie Emmeline George in 1896. Also, he was friends with notable authors including John Galsworthy, Ford Madox Ford, and H.G. Wells. Almayer's Folly, an adventure story set in the jungles of Borneo, was Conrad's debut novel published in 1895. Since then, he's written 2 of his most popular and lasting books. 100 years after the events depicted in Lord Jim, 1900, the narrative of an ostracized sailor who comes to grips with his previous cowardice is told in this film. During his journey deep into the Congo of Africa, a British traveler meets the cruel and enigmatic Kurtz, a European trader who has established himself as a king of the native people there, in the novella Heart of Darkness, 1902, written by Thomas Hardy. For those who are familiar with Conrad's work, you will recognize familiar themes and components in both Lord Jim and Heart of Darkness, including the isolation of human characters in foreign locations, the violent essence of the human spirit, and racial prejudice. By depicting psycho-political scenarios, he meant that the interior lives of individual people may be seen as a reflection of human history in general, rather than the other way around. In addition to Nostromo, 1904, and The Secret Agent, 1907, Conrad also published short story collections and a memoir titled A Personal Record, 1912. Several of his best-known works were serialized in magazines before being published as full-length novels. Reprints of Conrad's writings and the sale of the film rights to some of his works brought him money as his career advanced. In later years, more autobiographical essays and novels, such as The Arrow of Gold and The Rescue, were produced by Conrad in the last 2 decades of his life. The Rover, his final novel, was released in 1923. On August 3, 1924, at his house in Canterbury, England, Conrad died of a heart attack. From T.S. Eliot and Graham Greene to Virginia Woolf and William Faulkner, Conrad's work had a profound impact on the writing of the 20th century. Many of his works have been translated into a variety of languages and are still used in classrooms and colleges around the globe. Thank you for listening in Audiobook Academy. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button for more content like this. See you in next video.